strikes the note on which the orchestra is supposed to play. In a debate, we have two orchestras, and it is my pleasant duty to welcome the quartet on each side to the dais. Today, with Madam Mamata Banerjee as our Chief Minister, we follow the protocol of having the side speaking for the motion on my right. Something we didn't do for 37 years, but we've changed it now. So I will welcome on the stage speakers speaking in favor of the motion with a brief introduction to each of the quartet of the orchestra who will play according to the key note. Speaking first for the motion is a man who has served as a judge in the Calcutta High Court, moved over to become the Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, and then over questionable circumstances was removed to become the Chief Justice of the Meghalaya High Court, but who credited himself in every single post he has held. A man who was much feared as a judge, but much revered for his judgment, Justice Shonjeev Banerjee. Speaking second for the motion is a man you've all heard here before, founder of Shumantrana, a strategic advisory firm that advises on investment and disinvestment strategies, a former managing director of Deloitte and PwC in India, a chartered accountant with a graduate degree in law, and somebody who has completed advanced management program at the Harvard Business School. A much seen face in the corporate world of this city. Can I call upon Mr. Rupen Roy, second speaker in favor of the motion. Economists, we're told, have to have a leaning to the left or the right. It is much more fashionable for economists to have a leaning to the left. And the third speaker in favor of the motion is a left-leaning activist and economist based in Calcutta, convener of the Joint Forum Against NRC, which has organized a sustained campaign against the Centre Citizenship Trust. May I welcome on stage Mr. Prosenjit Bose, the third speaker in favor of the motion. And last but not the least, the only lady in the panel today, apart from our keynote speaker, the last speaker in favor of the motion heads the women's wing of the Congress, a former MLA from Delhi. She has 871,000 followers on X. So there's somebody following her every second. She's also former national president of his Congress student wing. May I welcome on stage Alka Lamba. With the fours settling into their positions, It is time now to call upon the against on the stage. And first speaker speaking against the motion is founder and research director of VD Center for Legal Policy, one of the most prominent independent think tanks doing legal research. A Calcutta boy, his area of specialization are constitutional law and digital economy. Welcome on stage, Orgo Sengupta. Another Calcutta boy, now based in Delhi, will be the second speaker against the motion. Additionally, he is the Additional Solicitor General of India. The corridors of power in Delhi alluded to. He graduated from the National Law School of India in Bangalore and went to the University of Leicester to complete his master's. Welcome on stage, Vikramjit Banerjee. Speaking against the motion third is the Gardiner Professor of History at Harvard University, a former parliamentarian, grandnephew of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Sugata Bose. Can I welcome on stage Professor Sugata Bose? He's the author, as you know, of multiple books. In fact, he's just leaving this country to have his newest book discussed in the United States. And finally, speaking last against motion, is a man you have seen in this club a number of times. A man who was the former governor of Tripura and Meghalaya, former president of the Bengal BJP, somebody not to hold back on his words, and even the state unit of the Saffron Party has been at the receiving end of his sharp tongue at times. May I welcome Mr. Tathagata Roy. The problem is they have so many VIPs that their introduction takes so long. If they had people like me, it would have been short and sweet. The motion today, ladies and gentlemen of the Calcutta Club, reads, this House believes India does not need a new constitution. Need and new being the two words critical in the conversation that you will hear. I've always wondered why the Indian Constitution has 145,000 words compared, say, to the American Constitution that has 4,400 words. Until a friend pointed out this evening to me, it is so that you and I cannot interpret the Constitution. We need judges to interpret the Constitution, preferably judges of the Supreme Court, to understand what our Constitution says. Because most of us are not considered literate enough to go through 145,000 words. So it is only fitting that the first speaker speaking for the motion happens to be a former judge. A dear friend and a former judge, I invite retired Justice Shonji Banerjee to be the opening batsman for the motion today. Just to let you know, before Shonji starts talking, about some of the rules of this debate, because it is mandatory in this debate that the chairperson reads out the rules. The debate is held on parliamentary debating style, which means, like all our parliamentarians, the speakers are polite, pure, plausible, and politically correct. The language has to be legislative, which means it is legal, illuminating, and literary.